Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Bet Online continues to be your number one sports betting source for every three-pointer to hat trick. Bet Online has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. Bet Online, the game starts here. Bet.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right. Man, shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all starting y'all week off with your boy. We up in this thing, Sports Coma representing on a Monday. So big ups to the fam and everybody involved. I hope you guys, well, not hope, I know. Let's get it right, baby. Baby, I know you got your week started off to be productive, progressive, and positive, baby. The 3 Ps, baby. I know y'all got that. So shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all for being in the live as we get it going. Shout out to you. Please hit the notification bell, fam. If you hadn't hit it, and the share button, that helps out. If you're not a sub up to the Coma. We up in this thing. Shout out to our Patreon and YouTube membership family. Much love to you guys for your constant and faithful support of the platform. Now, with that being said, man, big ups to everybody. Shout out to all the OGs, the OG himself, OG Jerry is always representing. Shout out to you, Cartel. I see you, Pelicans. Nola, I see you. Big ups to you. Good to see you. Cartel, I see you, fam. Appreciate you as well. Much love there. What's up, Trey? Shout out to you, Trey. Good to see you, brother. How you been, man? Be great. Josh is in this thing. Shout out to you, Josh. Good to see you, my friend. Brother Gregory's in this thing as well. Good to see you. Brother Bonds is in this thing saying, what up, Q? What's next is putting the pieces, because the name of the show is with some of the moves that the Saints are making. What's next for the Saints after these recent signings? What are the black and gold going to do heading forward? And it appears that we're hitting the second levels of free agency, and the Saints are kind of slowing down a bit. We do know about the fact that they, like you're seeing on screen, the signing of Saints picked up wide receiver, running back Velus Jones Jr. Now, some of you guys probably remember several years ago, we kind of scouted Velus on the show. He comes from the University of Tennessee. Remember, that was the time we had our wide receivers coach prior to Coach Williams getting here. It was what was the wide receiver coach we had? Was it Coach Burns? Y'all remind me was his name, because he left. I liked him. He came from the University of Tennessee. And around that time, we were looking at wide receivers out of Tennessee, And Velas was one of those guys who was a big target guy who had a lot of potential. And lo and behold, the Saints say, hey, man, 4 years later, let's bring Velas aboard with his versatility. A lot of people, looking at him as a special teams component. We'll go into that. We'll dig into that as well. So let's see what Brother Brother Bonds is saying about that. Let me see. He says, get you on screen there, brother. He says, what's next is putting the pieces to the puzzle and building chemistry with one another and getting or gelling as one. And the first goal is to win the South Division, period. There you go. The goal is to be competitive. The goal is to win. The goal is to play. And you know what, fam, even to a degree, I want respectable football, right? We want a brand of football. I don't want to hear no more excuses. I want to see a respectable brand of football here. You know, the type of team that play their guts out, leave every play on the field, don't take any excuses, don't make any excuses. You know, the stuff like we seen Cam Jordan spinning at the Super Bowl saying, we this, that, and the third, and then the reporters talking about it's not the medical staff. That kind of stuff. We don't want to hear that. They don't fly with us. We're not buying the injury crap when you keep saying it every year. It loses its potency. So in the end, we want a respectable brand of football is what we want down here, and we deserve it. Shout out to you. What's up, Desi, baby? Beverly, shout out to the Queens. They represent Coma, vibing with the Johnsons. Big ups to you. They say he says, they say Get isn't doing a pro day, Q. Okay. They say Get isn't doing it. You got to rephrase that for me, Bobbin. Oh, Ted. Okay. Okay, Ted. They saying Ted ain't doing the pro day. Okay, I'm about to I get you. Yeah, Cody Burns. There you go. Thank you, Gregory. Yeah, I know it was Burns something or other. Sometimes, so many things moving. I get the names confused from time to time. But I appreciate you guys for keeping me straight on that. Brian, shout out to you. Yeah, he said Tet's not doing the pro day. Is that what you're saying? I didn't hear that, bro. But then again, I'm going to look into it. Ronnie, what's up, Ronnie? How you doing, sir? Appreciate you. All right. Much love to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream, man. We up in this thing as well. So anyway, let's get it going, man. The first report, as you guys can see, is Velas signed the other day, the wide receiver. So like I said, this guy was a 3rd round pick by Chicago. University of Tennessee does have some versatility to his game. It adds to the Saints wide receiver room, but the Saints family members, the supporters, were looking at more of an impactful wide receiver signing. I'm not saying that's not on the way, because if you look at some of the Saints depth chart, you can kind of look at it and say, man, the couple of the moves that the Saints have made up to this point have been moves that revolve around the defense. Now, we did have, the move of getting the backup center and Will Clapp coming back, to add that is a important move. To have a quality veteran backup center is very important, as we learned last year, right? And, of course, you've seen a few moves here, getting Velas here in the wide receiver core. We're looking at more of an established name, but he does have some potential. Then you had Jack Stahl that they added as a backup tight end in the mix with Taysom Hill and Foster Monroe. Will Clapp we talked about, but then when you go defenses, that's where all of the flashes happened so far. Saints looked at the defensive side and said, we need some improvement over there. So we're seeing brother Devon gets in there. We'll play his interview from him today as well. Hear a little bit from him. There was the pickup of Jonah Williams. The Saints website talked about that. We knew that several days ago, that they signed defensive end Jonah Williams, a defensive lineman, Jonah Williams, who was with the Rams, and this kind of stuff. Staley has some familiarity with that guy, bringing him to the team. So adding a nose tackle and another defensive lineman to go along with the Saints have had a schematic change that we see on screen right here, which is very intriguing to me. This aspect of the Saints team that I'm intrigued with is obviously the defense. Seeing Carl Granderson in this shift at linebacker, also seeing Chase at the other linebacker position, DeMario and Pete Werner, has piqued my interest, just to see how this all goes. And, of course, I do like Justin Reed signing. Do like that a lot. The Isaac Yiadom signing, bringing back, giving him a 3rd quality cornerback, as it were. So, I mean, the Saints have had hit, I ain't going to say 3 levels of defense, but if you shift Granderson and Young to the linebacker unit, you add some versatility there along with Isaiah Foskey. And, of course, they'll move these guys around as they see fit, and we'll see what Coach Staley's ideology is moving forward. But I'm looking forward to seeing Brian Bresee at an end position as well. You know, this could be monstrous. And I'm not putting it up there with the Dome Patrol, but I do like the potentiality of what could be. But, you know, we'll see if they can iron all of that out going forward. But my eyes will definitely be looking at the defensive side of the ball. With that being said, as we moving forward, as April approacheth, we know that the Saints, unless they, and we do realize that the black and gold, they do have, according to over the cap, over $18 million of cap left, right? Over $18 million worth of cap left remaining. So they do have money to be able to possibly add some more veterans. Of course, Keenan Allen is out there. There's Kellen Moore has a connection to him when he was out there with as an offensive coordinator for the Chargers under Brendan Staley, who's now with the Saints as the defense. So you see how that works. Does he reach to them? Saints have the money. Does it make sense? Estimated value of his contract annually, just over $11 million. Will the Saints give Keenan Allen that money and bring him here? So we'll see how it all works, because there are several players that are still currently available that could fit as starters for the Saints unit, and I don't think they're done making some moves and getting a veteran wide receiver, a respectable one to sit next to Chris Olave, or perhaps the Saints are just going to kind of fill in some backup roles and then attack some of these positions in the draft. We'll know over the next couple of months, right? All right, so anyway, that's just looking at that, man, and keeping it moving. And shout out to Velus, man, for, you know, becoming a new member of the New Orleans Saints, man. And like I said, and of course, before we kind of jump into some of this other stuff, let's kind of go over some of the news, notes, and items. Kind of a recap so far of what's been happening in the Saints free agency. Tracker here, provided by Athlon Sports. And by the way, fam, for y'all to join in, do me a service. Hit the like button and the share button. And there's a poll that's there for you guys to get your vote on right now. So y'all, it's in the chat right now, and it basically is just asking you guys what position, according to the options provided, do you think the Saints should go in round 1? And the reason why I ask that is because there is an overwhelming difference in the Who Dat Nation of who we should get. And like in previous years, you know, some people will say Q defensive line or offensive line, we need that, wide receiver, whatever. But it has been a diverse vantage point from different family members. So I say, you know what, let's see if we can pinpoint this. Like the other day, I asked for the family members on the last stream to kind of vote out their thoughts on how and grade how the Saints were doing in free agency. And an overwhelming amount of people said they gave the Saints a B grade in free agency. So that's a positive, you know, because I thought it was a little lower than that I would get from the Great Saint Think Tank and the support base. But a lot of people said, nah, these are okay. You know, they're not great, great moves, but they're solid moves, B. I said, okay, all right, oh, I got you. But anyway, let's keep it moving, man. Y'all get in the poll and vote it up. Now, of course, these are some of the needs right here, and this is, I think this is shout out to John Hendricks. Shout out to him. He did this tracker right here, kind of giving us a breakdown, a ball down of some of these guys that we brought aboard just to keep things turning. And his thought process is the needs of the team. The top needs, in his opinion, is still defensive line and edge rusher. So defensive line and edge are two separate things. Tight end, offensive line, cornerback, safety, linebacker, right? So he got, and to me, y'all know how I feel. I still say line. I see the Saints did add some people to the defensive line, right? A couple of people they added. But they're still, it's very weird here. And a lot of, I guess when they go to camp, a lot of these guys, we're going to figure out what role is what role. But you expected some of these guys to not be here, but with the philosophy of just signing everybody and just making another run at it and just pile on salaries into 2026 and then let it fall off in 2027 is the philosophy and move. So instead of just going into a rebuild that way, we'll just postpone it for 2 years again and just keep this thing moving. Well, if that's the case, these are the looks. Now, defensive line, I don't know if I would say that's the key need, but I understand because you have to get pressure on the quarterback, and getting pressure on the quarterback contributes to a lot of the interceptions, the turnovers. It just makes guys uncomfortable. We seen what Philadelphia did last year when they were just dog pounding and just berating the enemy's offensive line, just attacking. You know, you seen what they did in the Super Bowl, turn the Kansas City Chiefs into the New Orleans Saints and the Super Bowl. It was very interesting. And then leading up to the Super Bowl, how they defense ferociously attacked everybody. So I can get the defensive line and edge positions because that sets the tone defensively and makes everybody on the other side uncomfortably, especially their quarterbacks. We turned that defense, having a defense like that turns everybody's quarterbacks into Derek Carr, you know. A little shot at Derek Carr, you know what I'm saying? No. It's just what I mean by it turns them into Derek Carr is it turns them and makes them very scary. You know, it makes them very scary. It makes them just throw the ball away or throw it up for an interception. So, I mean, this is one of the things that we see here going forward. But outside of that, man, I think that the either line to me, the defensive or the trenches is what I look at, building the team from the inside out. Next thing is the tight end position. I don't, with the signing of Juwan Johnson, I think that negates the fact the Saints will take a tight end high. You know what I'm saying? Well, they do have tight ends there. They can get a developmental one in the 3rd round or even in the 4th round. So that's not a position that, we looking at right now because with the re-signing of Juwan and they added Stahl, who's basically a backup blocking tight end that can come in and block as a fullback, do this kind of stuff. And then you look at the offensive line, which is where I'm at with mine. I think the offensive line should be the focus here because we did hear about Becton end up heading to the Chargers, which was the guy that a lot of people thought that would be a fit for the Saints at the guard position because we have a hole in the offensive line. So we thought that would be the case. So I can understand that as well. And then, of course, cornerback. Saints tried to get Chard Ward. He ended up going to the Colts. They ended up getting Isaac Yiadom. Paid him, a nice little money, not a lot of money, but you can see that money made him like the 3rd cornerback. So in the end, it's very interesting. The safety, you get Justin Reed, you still have Jordan Howard in there. The Saints could ultimately take a safety in the draft as well. Maybe not high, but maybe in the 3rd or 4th, 5th round because they have a good bevy selection of secondary players available. Then the linebacker level. Now, are we good with our linebackers, the backup linebackers? Like if Pete Werner has a problem, or how you feel about Anthony Orji? How do you guys feel about Nephi Sewell? How do you guys feel about Jalen Ford? How do you guys feel about, what's the other kid name? Isaiah Stallbird, DeMarco, what's his name? The other linebacker. Man, I forgot the guy's name. DeMarco Jackson. So Orji, Jalen Ford, DeMarco Jackson, Nephi Sewell, Isaiah Stallbird, Isaiah Foskey, who they converted into a linebacker in the system. So how do you guys feel about the backups? I think Anthony Orji's a dog, but what about the rest of these guys? Could we use some help there? And, of course, the secondary. Never can have too many good cornerbacks, something like that. But anyway, this is some of the things that he spoke about in his article. And let's go over some of the other things here. He talks about losing Paulson Adebo, Will Harris, Peyton Turner, and MVS to other teams. Good deals for those guys, as you can see right here. The free agent player tracker who the Saints lost. Players still out there for the Saints to sign if they want to. Lucas Patrick, who's 32 years old. Do you go back there? They voided Passanyo's numbers. I don't think Passanyo coming back. I think they already got who they got. And then a bunch of other people. Landon Young, Shane Lemieux, Ugo Amadi is there. Does he come back as a special teams ace as well? Shamar Jean-Charles got picked up, but that's not listed here. He was signed by somebody. I forgot who it was. Y'all put it in the chat and all this kind of stuff. So not really any really big name players to speak about that we lost outside of the ones that I just mentioned. Pettis, who is the fantastic wide receiver who comes back, like what he did in a reserve capacity. Nephi Sewell was re-signed, special teams guy. Shepard was restructured. Chase Young was re-signed. Juwan Johnson was re-signed. Devon Godchaux was also signed. I mean, via trade, he was acquired via trade. Justin Reed, the phenomenal safety from the Chiefs, who had some good years there, still in his prime, got over a 3-year deal at 31.5, just over $10 million a year. And we talked about Yidam, 3-year deal, just under $10 million. Will Clapp, Jonah Williams, those guys are signed. And of course, you move into the restructures, and the guys that we restructured are all the guys on the stream, and then the draft picks. We see what our draft picks are: the 1, the 2, the 3, 2 threes, which is 71st and 93rd, the 2 fourths, which is 112 and 131, the 6th and 2 7s. We got a 2 7s as the compensatory pick model, awarded the Saints another 7-round pick, so that's 2 7s. I doubt that the New Orleans Saints would ultimately, use all of those picks. They'll probably, in terms of drafting guys for those picks, more than likely, at some point when you got an abundance of picks, you tend to use that to move around some. You tend to do that. Anyway, let's keep it moving, man. After the little tracker kind of update the family members to that, let's move to this from the Saints wire here. And this is from them. They're dropping it. Derek Carr and Saints relationship may be deteriorating amidst latest report. And this was something that came out, yesterday, actually. It was rumored milled that how are the Saints and Derek Carr doing? How's that working out? Well, let's go over this article right here. Saints had an opportunity to split from Derek Carr, and they chose to keep the veteran quarterback, they being Mickey Loomis. Let's get that straight. I've been telling people, for the family members, over the last several shows, is the fact that Derek Carr wanted to go. Derek Carr is well aware how a great deal of the Who Dat Nation feels about him because, listen, and I said this over and over again, it's not people like and I don't know if they do it intentionally. I think sometimes just people just don't know. You got to create it. You got to delineate. You got to put a line in between, the player and the person. It's not a smite against Derek Carr as a person. This is his play. This is all about his play. $150 million is a lot of money to give to a quarterback who just has, that since he's been here, he's been hurt both years, and you're not getting fair value out of this guy. You're not. You hear a lot, and like I said, I hear everything. I hear it all. I've seen all of these pressers. Everything that he says, it's a lot of excuse making. It's a lot of this. It's a lot of run-on sentences. It's a lot of, and it's not a lot of, I know. I see some stuff, this kind of stuff. And this is what it is. I think he's like 2 wins over, like just a couple of wins above 500 as a starting quarterback here. And I know it's not all on him, but you got to understand, when you were the quarterback of an NFL team and you're making $150 million, it's going to be some hardcore staring in your direction about where this goes. And far too often we've seen it go in the opposite direction of where it's supposed to go. So he's feeling it. He understands it. And there was reports, verified reports, from some really credible insiders that was saying Derek Carr was interested in leaving. He was trying to leave. The supporters want him gone. They want something else. The team is losing. It was Dennis Allen, who brung him here, was fired. So usually when the guy's gone, and it's not like it's a young quarterback that you can take under your wing and keep it moving. This is an older quarterback. I think he's in his 13 year. Y'all remind me. I know it's 12 or 13 year, whatever the case may be. This ain't no spring chicken. So usually when you got an older quarterback like that, they got a ton of problems and a ton of bad habits that go along with it. Like I said, it's well known and famous what I say about Derek Carr's playability at times when he just do this gamble man thing, when he just stares down one side of the field. He don't go through his progressions. This is real like elementary stuff that he just constantly does wrong. Even offensive coordinator last year, Clint Kubiak, kept trying to speed him up because he plays too slow. That's Kubiak saying that we got to speed him up. We got to speed him up. We got to fix his footwork. Remember that? We got to fix his footwork. We got to speed him up. And, and he really challenging me, and then I throw the ball over here, and then he'll say, yeah, that's good, Derek. Just do it again, do it faster. like he twisted Kanye or some damn thing. But at the end of the day, what you got to see is what Derek Carr has done with the New Orleans Saints for the last couple of years, and it hasn't been that good. So Carr was looking to leave, and Mickey Loomis said no. Now, hold on now. You're going to stay here, Derek. Park your car right over there. We're going to keep you. So it wasn't Derek Carr. It was Loomis trying to get out of here. Now, let's dig into that. I'll give you a little background on that. Now, let's dig into the report. This is he says, Saints had an opportunity to split from Carr. They chose to keep him. This was a likely scenario. It wasn't surprising, though it was disappointing to some. A report of Carr being open to testing the markets adds a new wrinkle to the story. It's the latest chapter in Carr's deteriorating relationship with the Saints, and their family members and supporters almost feel like Carr no longer wants to be with the team. Well, that's mutual. Derek Carr is listening. He listens to the great many of you guys that are unsatisfied with the progress of the New Orleans Saints. And once again, even though I say, and I'll say it again, that Derek Carr isn't the only reason why the Saints have failed over the last several years. He's not the only reason. He's one of many. But it was bad decisions at the head coach level by hiring a coach that was not the man, had no leadership ability, wasn't on code, backstabbed his players, on and on and on. The guy above him not knowing what to do. And no accountability in the building. Not from a higher level. Nobody's keeping nobody accountable. Nobody's checking behind anybody. Nobody's evaluating anybody. So, of course, if that's not evident or that's not clear, then there will be, fam, do you not understand how rampant corruption, like, look what's going on right now. If you don't have any oversight over people that's distributing money, like you go into some of these wars and find out that they sent $300-something billion somewhere, and then you go and crack the book open and find out that the money, like less than 20% of the money went to where they said it went to, then somebody going to jail, right? And some of these people don't want to go to jail. That's what accountability gets you. When you watching, you are the watchdog, you're on it. You have to have that. You can't have a silly ass structure like the Saints are building and then have no accountability there. We'll just be repeating the same cycle over and over again. If you're a head coach, you have to make players who's not on code, they have to pay for that. Some kind of way, whether it costs them money or push-ups, whatever the case may be, that has to be evident. That was not the case in New Orleans, not under Dennis Allen administration. Unless it's Kendre Miller, he just put you on the injury list for nothing and violate the rules and not get in trouble for it. But anyway, public relations have been bad since joining the team, including yelling at teammates like Chris Olave. I love how he documents this. Yelling at teammates like Chris Olave and Eric McCoy. And Eric McCoy, I never seen Eric McCoy that mad. It was almost like Carr said something about the man's family or something. Eric McCoy was going for him, and I forgot, who was it that got in between them? Was it Hurst or Lucas Patrick? Or y'all put it in the chat. Somebody saved his life. He need to buy him a Rolex because McCoy was coming for him. And he says feel like Carr no longer wants to be with the team. Public relations, since like the Chris Olave yelling and Eric McCoy, and then being noticeably absent from the Super Bowl activities, being open to a divorce is only likely to worsen the relationship. No, it's not going to worsen the relationship with the supporters. We're not delusional. It's a bad deal. If you're not going to build an offense where Derek Carr is the secondary member, meaning that he's not the primary mover of the offense. He's the secondary mover of the offense, which means he operates off of the running attack and the play action. If you're not going to build an offense like that, then you're wasting your time. No disrespect to Derek Carr, but we know you're not serious about fixing the fact that you're staring down people either to the left side or the right side. You're not fixing it because you don't even talk about it. And I know you see it because if you study and film all these years, you got to know that you're doing it. So the mere fact you ain't addressing it, you keep doing the same thing, either you're crazy, the coaches are crazy, Or hell, we're crazy for watching all of you do the same stuff all over again. But in the end, unless you're serious about fixing that, I don't, I would rather, if you're going to keep him, you have to build a running attack that puts him into play action. There is no other way. It's no other way. It's no other way for success with him unless you build one of the meanest, nastiest running attacks that you ever seen. I mean, something that Philly had with Saquon. Can you build that? Because that's what you're going to need. And put him constantly in the play action. If you're not doing that, you're asking for trouble. Just keeping it all the way funky, because this is what we have. If he takes it serious and fix the major flaws in his game, he can go up a level. He really can, because the thing that's really daunting about his game is the fact that that's staring those wide receivers down, that cuts off his options. Then he checks the ball down 5 to 7 times a game, which will improve his accuracy rating. But you're not picking up no W's like that. You're not picking up no wins that way. But anyway, we recognize it as dysfunctional. We know that Derek Carr doesn't want to be down here. We know that the main one that kept him here was this guy. Hold on now. That's right. Hold on now. Hold on. That's a guy. Hold on. That's the goddamn truth. That's right. Hold on. I'll keep him here. I made a promise to Dennis, and I say, Dennis, listen. Hold on. I'm not going to let him go. That guy is the guy. That's the goddamn guy you need to be. Hold on now. Yeah, that guy. That him there. Yeah, no, hold on now. No. That's the guy. It's not Carr. Carr's like, man, this is bad. I want out of here. We like, yeah, you need to go. The guy that's holding him is, hold on now, Derek. Hold on, don't go anywhere yet. Hold on. That guy. That's the problem. I'll tell you, boy. He says there's reason to believe he wouldn't be happy in New Orleans, but being open to testing the market isn't equal to requesting a trade or a release. But they give off a similar sentiment. This paints the picture of a discontented player who's ready to move on, but fences can be mended. Listen, fam. The only way, and this is old, this is really not nothing new. Maybe some of the people are hip to the game, but we know Derek Carr was trying to leave. We know he didn't leave because Mickey Loomis kept him here. He restructured him. Not only did he keep him here for this year, but he kept him here the next year too. You'll be paying him almost $70 million next year, and he turned, what does he turn next year? We're going to be paying that man, and it's not his fault. It's what the Saints do. They want to just give him away money. And he turns 35 in 2026, and you'll be owing him. You got a dead cap hit of $69.2 million on Derek Carr's contract. It's a bad deal. But instead of being smart and backing out of the deal, getting out of it, what does Mickey do? Oh, baby, I go right on in. Hold on now. You goddamn right. Hold on. I'm going all the way in, baby. Hold on. That's Mickey Loomis. Instead of backing out of the deal, this is not a good deal. We can nix the deal, get up out of it, leave. What the Saints do, they double down on it. But this is, anyway, it's what the case. But we know Derek Carr wanted to leave. But the thing is now, they're just going to have to make it work. Kellen Moore says he's cool with it. Hey, man, listen, Kellen Moore, I'm going to tell you, because you might not know this, but at the end of the day, they had other guys that tried this. And if you want to succeed where they fail, you got to put the running, you got to build up the offensive line. We got this new offensive line coach in here, which is one of the old coaches we had. And we're going to have to run the ball. And I've said this again last year and the year before that. It's a broken record. We keep saying the same thing over and over again about building up the line so we can run. We need another left guard there. We need to pick up the offensive line coach coming in here. We got to have more of a meaner disposition. We have to improve our backups on the offensive line because they sucked last year. And the defense, like we talked about, the defensive line, we got to stiffen up, stopping the run, and we got to get pressure on the opposing team. But from the offensive standpoint, if you're gonna keep Derek Carr and the Saints are, you got to get the running attack going. Ain't no fans or buts about it. We got to run the ball, baby. That's what it is. All right, so anyway, let's move on. Saints linked to $31 million offensive star and potential free agent addition. Could the Saints boost up their offensive line? Amen to that. Let the church say amen. Let the church say amen on that. New Orleans Saints seem to be facing a long rebuild. When they entered the 2025 offseason, the Saints were in the worst cap situation in the entire league, as they were over $60 million over the cap limit. The Saints could have cut Jordan Carr in order to save a lot of money. These two moves would have set the team back a few years, but would have put them in a better cap spot. Instead, the Saints decided to keep both of them, pursue some potential win-now free agents, including Cup, who they didn't get. While they whiffed on Cup, the Saints could still go up after some serious free agents this offseason. Jaleel Granberry of the Who Dat Dish recently urged the Saints to pursue Chicago Bear offensive lineman Devon Jenkins. That's not a bad idea. Jenkins is projected to sign a 3-year contract worth over $31 million. Saints still have a major need at the left guard spot, and one of the best available guards is Devon Jenkins. The veteran offensive lineman is coming off 4 years with the Bears and has appeared to find his footing on the interior after being drafted as a tackle. He could come to New Orleans and solidify the Saints' offensive line. The addition wouldn't break the bank for the Saints. Paying a solid offensive lineman around $10 million to $12 million a year seems like a steal for the Saints. They could open up the run game a lot more. It would also give the team flexibility to pursue other talented, skilled position players in upcoming NFL draft, especially if the Saints use the slick Mickey science of signing players to deals, and the first deal be worth 1.2, 1.5, and then it springboards to 9, springboards to 10 in the second year. And if you need money, you just restructure it again and kick it some more. With that philosophy, hell, you can sign another 5 or 4 players to the team and just kick it into the future. One of the biggest needs, in my opinion, that's still left there for the Saints is the left guard position. We definitely need to fill that hole right there. Lucas Patrick is a backup. Shouldn't have never been a full-time starter. They were kind of counting on Nick Saldiveri. That didn't work out. Guy can't stay healthy. Maybe we go for a veteran. You want to have somebody there who is a veteran that has some experience, kind of a plug-and-play guard that can come in there and help you out, perhaps. But, improving the offensive line to me is the thing that you want to do, especially when you have a quarterback with the temperament we have, where he kind of get the deer in the headlight look thing going on with him. That could be problematic. So it definitely wouldn't hurt for the Saints to look at some veteran help in the offensive line. They certainly have enough money to pull that kind of move off, right? They certainly do. All right, so anyway, I just wanted to kind of jump at you guys and kind of show you some of the thought processes on what needs the Saints have, that's left up. So the question is, where do the Saints go from here? What is the next move that the New Orleans Saints need to make in your opinions? What needs to happen next? We still could use some help at the wide receiver level from a veteran standpoint. We could use some offensive line help, both a starter at the left guard position and some more backups, credible backups, respectful and hardworking backups for the Saints O-line. We still could use, people think about in the draft, you go into the draft, a lot of family members, could be a quarterback there. We've taken a quarterback the last 2 years. Does it stop in year 3? The pattern says no. At some point in the draft, the Saints are going to take a quarterback, right? 3 offensive coordinators over the last 3 years, and each one of them drafted a quarterback in the draft. I don't think that will stop. What do you guys think about linebacker? You think about, we need some more help at the interior defensive line position, another edge guy, perhaps another cornerback, safety, stuff like that. If people say just take your pick, Q, and throw a dart in the dark, and whatever it hit, it'll be fine. I said, you end up doing that shit, you might hit a punter or a kicker in the first round. The New Orleans Saints drafted a long snapper. You never know with these people, man, what they gonna do. But anyway, man, y'all hit that poll up, because that's something that we talking about here. What's the next move for the black and gold? I really do think that the Saints need to really kind of pivot, because they did do some stuff defensively. I can respect that. they recognize they're having a scheme change there, and they need to improve. Defensive line need to get faster. Another thing is, because when you listen, fam, when you building the 3-4, I've said this before, you got to have mean guys up the front down. The 3 down linemen have to be mean. I like Brian Bursey. Cam Jordan, obviously going to be one of those guys on the line. The nose tackle, you have to be determined. But at the same time, you look around, you have to be like, those guys up front have to be mean. They got to be mean for that all to work, right? So, and then, of course, offensively speaking, we need to really focus on our offensive line. And then you go into the draft, and you might be able to get some skill set players right there. Needs kind of change in the draft based on the fact that you picked up Juwan Johnson. You signed a guy from Philly. You still have Taysom Hill there. You still have Foster Moreau at the tight end position, but you can use some wide receivers. The running back position, Elvin turns 30 this year. Kendre Miller can't be counted on right now. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a good back, but not somebody you want to have in a full-time starting role. Jordan Mims is good potentially, but has not been used in a way you can be counted on. So do the Saints go into the running back room? If we're going to focus on running the ball and follow the Big Q philosophy, right, of running the football and letting that be the thing that win us games as opposed to Derek Carr being the top option in the offense, then you damn sure want to make sure get you some help there, offensive line, then running back, this type of stuff. So it all works together, right? But anyway, let's go ahead on and move into this, man. Talk about guys that got picked up. I seen this report right here from Juwan Johnson. The Saints did this today. Rather, let me see if I can get it set up for you guys here. For Juwan Johnson. Oh, what's going on here? All right, for Juwan Johnson's interview he did, and this is one where he was just sitting down and him talking about his thoughts on him signing the 3-year deal. Now, listen, I like Juwan Johnson, but it's time to ball out, brother. 50 catches last year. The Saints give you $10 million a year. A lot of people are like, I don't know about that. You know, I would have went to the draft. Because me personally, I like Juwan, but I would have pivoted toward the draft. And because there's a lot of really good players that we could have got something on a futuristic level. This kind of puts us here, you know, but we're here with him. But it's time for Juwan to step up, man. With him getting the paper, it's time to level up, man. We got them concentration drops, all that stuff got to disappear. We need you to get up to being one of the top 10 best tight ends in the game. You got the potential, you got the experience. Now it's time to step up and do it. Let's hear what he had to say about his money.
I'm so excited. New Orleans is home. New Orleans is so homey. And I think we couldn't find that anywhere else. And I think, the kids love it. My wife loves it. Even the family out of the state just comes down and kind of relax with us. They love it. And so this is just the place for us.
You seem pretty chill right now, but I'm sure the last month or so a little stressful.
It was a lot stressful. Trying to enjoy it, and I think that was the best part. We did enjoy it. I think, just going through it, hearing affirmations from other coaches is obviously great, but, you just want to be somewhere where it's just like, it's just right for you. And that's something that we felt like was here. Just talking to the coaches, talking to the players, and all the people around. We just got really excited about, what's to come in a new opportunity. So, I'm excited to get to work, excited to be with you guys for more time, and, will be a lot of things coming ahead.
From undrafted to where you are now, is it what you imagined it was going to be?
No, not at all. I thought I would be done in like 3 years, honestly, truly. And no, I just honestly think that, just working hard, trusting in God and knowing that these things will be great once you just put things together and keep your head down, staying healthy. Like I said before, faith with works is alive. And so, the one thing we try to do is just do things that we need to do, take care of the family, treat people well, just love everybody. I think things work out pretty well.
How has the move to tight end worked out then?
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Obviously the first couple of years, even now it's still tough. Guys they're big guys. They're big humans.
You say
on the
that
other
like
side.
You're not a big guy.
Yeah, I am, but I'm more slender than other guys like Cam or Carl. Those are big guys. But it's been great. It really has been great. It's been fun. Just seeing the position change just all around the league has been something that's really intriguing to me. And Yeah, it's just so exciting to see where it's going to continue to go. I think guys are blowing up at that position. It's becoming more of a need. And, yeah, it's just so fun to see how guys utilize and different teams utilize the tight end position.
I like Carl. I like I'm about to say Carl Granderson. Juwan, I like Carl Granderson too, but Juwan Johnson, man, and he talked a little about of his progression. Fam, it is, you think about his story. I think the most phenomenal story on the Saints team, and there's quite a few of them. One of my favorites is a story of triumph that Carl Granderson represented, right? What he went through at Wyoming, going undrafted, he was good, had some stuff that happened. He got locked up and went to jail, was in jail. The judge did something illegal to him. They filed an appeal. They threw all of it out. He was freed, and during this process, the Saints never released Carl Granderson. He stayed there. He stayed with the team, and when he came free, never had any problems, issues. And Carl Granderson went from at the bottom of the depth chart, an undrafted guy out of Wyoming, to fighting his way up every year to becoming the best defensive end the Saints have. He got broke off, what was it, a couple years ago, made a nice chunk of change right there. Respect. Juwan Johnson's story, not as he don't have jail involved in it, but it's still very impressive. This guy was a wide receiver from Oregon. The Saints picked him up undrafted, and he was at the back of the undrafted wide receiver because we had a good class that year when he came here, and they had the imagination, and a lot of the Who Dat Nation was saying this guy needs to be converted to a tight end. Well, the Saints did that. They converted him to a tight end, and he began again at the bottom of the tight end depth chart. So he had to make the adjustment from a big wide receiver, a red zone weapon, to being a tight end. And one of the things that Juwan Johnson suffered with was his blocking. Like, he had issues blocking guys. So he had to improve upon that. And he was, at one time, y'all remember this dude was in the depth chart at the bottom underneath Nick Vanette. Y'all remember that garbage? But he was on that squad, buried under the depth chart, and that man had to fight his way up, to where it is. So guys like Carl Granderson and Juwan Johnson, you got to give them respect on that. But now that you've climbed to you made the adjustment from being a wide receiver to a tight end, even so much where you climb from 3 to 2 to 1. And now you got TE1 money. It's time for you to step up on that level, because that's the next step for Juwan Johnson to be one of the top tight ends in the business. Can he do it? He has the physical attributes to be a really good tight end, like a top 10. I'm talking about a top 10 guy in this league. But the part of his game that he needs to work on, that is just, I see a lot of, it's just focus issues, right? Dropping the, concentration balls. You just dropping the ball. Like, you'll see him, some of the guy throwing the ball and he'll just drop it. Or try to run without the ball, but catches the tough ones. If you throw that ball out here, he's stretching and going to get it. He'll take a pop and then get up and walk back to the huddle. But some of these easy ones you throw him, just drop it. So now all that has to stop, Playboy. When you making $10 million a year over the next 3 years or whatever the case may be, you're going to have to step up, bro. You no longer, the little undrafted guy. Now you done climbed the mountain, brother. It's time to take that level up. That's what that money represents. And with that money, it's going to come that scrutiny that you got to be that TE1. And I think he does. I think he does do it, man, because it takes a real competitor and a winner to come as far as he did. Like he said at first, 3 years. 3 years, but now he goes from undrafted wide receiver to undrafted tight end at the bottom of the depth chart to being TE1 in time. And now he's that guy. So he has the resolve. He has that that indomitable spirit. But it's time, does he have that layers like, man, I want to be the best in the NFL? Does he have that? That is yet to be determined.
It's definitely a need right now on this team.
Yep.
Locked you in, went out and got Jack Stoll from the Eagles. So do you know him at all?
We were at tight end U a little bit.
Okay.
Look at my little girl. We were at tight end U a little bit, and we hung out. Me, him, and Dallas Goddard. I got to know him a little bit 2 or 3 years ago, and then I sent him a DM the other day. And so yeah, we're both fired up to kind of get to it and get this thing rolling because we got things planned ahead, and I think we need to build some camaraderie, not only position room but in the team, so we could get things moving, get things going. Because all it takes is a couple wins to get things rolling.
How important is that with the new coaching staff to build that camaraderie, and how do you do it quickly?
Yeah, well, we're trying to find a culture, and I think before we've had that, and in a way we've kind of lost it. But I think we can kind of build it to how we want it. Whether that's a fun atmosphere, a lively atmosphere, camaraderie atmosphere, or do you want like an atmosphere where guys are just kind of dragging? We want a bunch of tickers around. We want guys to have great energy. Guys to just have fun with what they're doing. We don't want to make it feel like a job. Like this is something that we get paid to do, and it's get paid handsomely for it. But it's a kid's game, and we just happen to get paid
ain't no
for it. And I
kid
think
money.
we should always remember that and just have fun.
Tiggers.
Yeah, a bunch of tickers. Nah, brother. We want some Lion Kings over here, or whatever you want to call them. We need some fighters over here. We don't need no clowns around here. A bunch of tiggers. My impression of Tigger, isn't that the clown? Is that he's the tiger or whatever it is that bounces on his tail? He's stupid and he falls around. He's the comedy relief for Winnie the Pooh. Is that the same guy he referencing? Well, no, we don't need that, brother. No. Oh no, brother. It's a kid's game, but this show ain't no kid's money. Ain't no goddamn kid making no $10 million. The hell on that. All right, anyway, this is Juwan Johnson's number 50 catches on the year, 548, 3 touchdowns, and 11 catch average on the year. If you look at his statistics right here per year from, last year, 17 games, 50 receptions, 66 targets. 66 targets, 50 catches, 548, which is the most yards that he's had, 11 catch average, not bad. 3 touchdowns on the year. 23, he had 37 catches off of 59 targets for 368, 4 touchdowns. His best touchdown year when he was up there with some of the best tight ends in the business in terms of the touchdowns. I think at one time he was like second or third in the NFL in terms of touchdowns according to a tight end. That year he had 42 catches off of 65 targets for 508, 12 catch average. So 7 touchdowns. So you see the progression. Went from 4 to 13, 42, dropped back to 37, bam, up to 50. Saints said we're going to commit to you. It's time to take it to the next level. So the temperament is, yeah, you got the money, but when getting the money, it comes and I'm just saying I think he'll I want him to do good. I really want him to do that. But, when you pay a guy some good money like that, they have to step up and be counted on. So we'll see what Juwan Johnson has. He got a real soft temperament to him, man. He's just chilling right now. I never seen him like as a fiery guy. But, some of these guys, these tight ends, the really good ones, they got that fire component in them, like that dog that wants to be the best, the dog that wants to be best, not the Tigger. But, the dog that wants to be the best, he wants to be the king of the hill. He wants to be the top of his craft. He wants to be that guy, So we're going to see what it is, man. When you take the money, you got to perform or meet the wrath of the mighty Who Dat Nation. Just ask Coach Possum. We don't play. But anyway, we are fair, though. All right, we got one more for you, fam. We're going to listen to this brother here who picked up and signed with he was traded from the Patriots to the Saints. Here we go.
To be here, it's an honor to play for the great state of Louisiana, New Orleans Saints. Pretty much all my family Saints fans. The Saints are Cowboys, so it's an honor to be here. Can't wait to get to work. You guys can open up.
How did the process go down? Were you and your team looking for
Cowboys, boo.
Of course, once the trade came out, New England, both sides, wanted to kind of get a trade, and the Saints was really one of the teams that was really aggressive. And my agent hit me. He was like, New Orleans is calling, and I was like, that'd be a great opportunity to come back and play in Louisiana. And it was a great opportunity, and I'm happy to be here and just ready to get to work.
What do you mean Carr sort of that? You said that both sides
Mm-hmm.
were looking for.
Yeah.
What was that?
I mean, just the opportunity to come back home, playing the NFC South. You know, it's my first time playing the NFC. I've been in the NFC since I got in the league, going on year 9. So I'm excited. I know it could be a great opportunity to help with, you know, some of the run defense here. And I'm excited to do whatever I can to help the team to win. You know, one game at a time. Got some great veterans on the team like Cam, Tyron, Demario Davis. So I'm excited to get to work with those guys, a lot of other guys, and put this thing together and get some wins.
What does it mean to be back home? I know you kind of touched on it a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, but what does it mean to you to be back home? I mean, you probably thought
Yeah.
this as a kid in college. Most of your life.
I mean, to play high school here, Plaquemine, to play college here, LSU, and now to be here to play for the New Orleans Saints is a dream come true. I mean, it's just kind of like a full circle. I know a lot of people don't get these opportunities, so I want to take full advantage of it by coming here and representing the state of Louisiana in the right way. And it just means a lot, you know, having family watch it every Sunday. Now it's a little closer in Louisiana, so it just means a lot to come here and put it all on the line and give it everything you got. And each and every Sunday, Thursday, Monday, try to collect together and get some wins. Because I mean, this team has a lot of potential to do that, but we just got to put it on the field on Sundays.
You mentioned that your family was all Saints and Cowboys fans. Were you a Saints fan?
Actually, growing up, I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I was a big, you know,
that's
Mean
a
Joe
good
Green.
cop.
I know it's kind of way before my time, but you know, now
That's a good cop out. He says, which one were you, Saints or Cowboys? He says Steelers. There's a lot of Steelers people down here, though, man.
I'm a New Orleans Saints fan, so I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to get to work, and it's going to be exciting. Coach Moore, I believe in, you know, the direction he's going to bring this team. Coach Stanley as DC, I believe in that too. So I'm just ready to get to work.
Can you just describe kind of the game and how you see it?
Just a dominant run player. I mean, whatever the team needs, you know, that's what I made my bread and butter at in the lead, entering year 9. Whatever the team needs me to help with, I'm gonna do it. Kind of like the dirty work player. I've been that all my life, taking up double teams, the one-on-one plays when I'm free, make the plays. So I kind of been that my whole career. So I'm excited to prevail and do it in this system. And yeah.
Is your expectation for those?
Whatever they need me to play, I can play nose. I can play 4. I can play 5. I can play it all. Versatile player, and I'm excited to bring that.
As you spoke to Brandon Bailey, what were those conversations?
I mean, watched me play on film. Told me he was a big fan of me. Playing the Chargers when they came down to New England and played us with Bill. So I'm excited. He saw me play nose. He saw me play shade. He saw me play 2. I can play whatever on the defense. I mean, one thing at LSU when I was there, Coach Ed Ogeron always told me, the more you can do, stay versatile. Like, you know, play with your left hand down, play with your right hand down. And I thank him for that today because now you see in this day and age, in this league, they actually play multiple positions. I know in New England, we played multiple. Bill wanted you to play everything. If you was 300 pounds, he wanted you to play 5 technique. He wanted you to play nose. He wanted you everything. So the more you can do, the better you can be in this league. And I kind of, you know, take my pride on that, being a versatile guy to do everything.
The mentality of being like, you know, the dirty work player, sometimes you can block so someone else can make a play.
Yeah.
You just always have
Yeah.
that selflessness, or is that something kind of like developed, you know, over time throughout your career?
I mean, I made a lot of plays in this league, made a lot of tackles. But I mean, when it's my time to take up a double team, I could take it up. So I mean, I don't, you know, look at it like, you know, eating up blocks all the time, because I mean, it is going to be a lot of one-on-one situations that I do have to make the plays, and when that time comes, I'll make sure I'll be prepared. So I mean, whatever it takes. If I got to take the double team up on that play, just so, you know, somebody else can come free and make a play, I'll do it. You know, it's all about team defense. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to join this group, and yeah.
Does it mean a lot that the team obviously installing a new scheme and switching sort of base schemes and stuff identified you as a player that can help the foundation for that?
Yeah, I'll say that because usually, you know, when you get a new head coach, a lot of people want to rebuild. And, you know, I just, you know, I've been in the league going on 9 years now. So, you know, when you new head coach, they want to rebuild, and to call me and to, you know, bring me to this defense to help this defense to get better, you know, that was a very exciting call for me, and I'm excited for it, looking forward to it.
You didn't overlap at LSU, but did you know Bo Davis previously?
Yeah, Bo, I had a chance to meet him this season at LSU. Bo, he's a very energetic guy, Great coach. Nothing but great things about him. I know a lot of guys at Alabama that he coached also too. So it's going to be a very exciting process to work with Bo. Never worked with him, but always heard a lot of great things about him. But she's kind of like the same kind of tree, like the Pete Jenkins tree, the Bo Davis.
It's
there's a lot of coaches in the NFL, D-line coaches taking that, like Bill Belichick. All those guys kind of learn from the same tree. Nick Saban, all those guys. So it's going to be exciting to work with Bo. Like I said, never worked with him, but I'm very excited for it.
Me too.
Obviously, being a
Me
run
too.
stopper. This is a team that struggled against the run last year. How eager are you to kind of help out with this team in that capacity if needed? And do you think that you have enough around you with this roster in order for you to be successful in however they need to?
Absolutely. But it takes all 11. It takes the other 10 people on the field too. I know a lot of people, when you look at the film, when you look at the stats and you see like 200 rushing yards or whatever, like all the D-line didn't do nothing, but it takes 11. It takes the safeties to come down. It takes the linebackers to be in great fits. It takes everybody, and that's what I learned playing in New England, playing with Bill Belichick. It takes it's a team defense, and if you can get all 11 people to play team defense, it's nice to have a group come together like this, all from different backgrounds, come together and play one as team ball, and we can do that. We can stop anybody. I'm a firm believer in that. It takes confidence. It takes repetition and practice to keep repping and getting it right. And it's just going to take a lot of leadership to do the things that we want to do to get what we want to get.
How would you say you evolved as a leader and a tone setter?
I'm not I was telling somebody this the other day, I'm not a big rah-rah guy. I kind of lead by my play. Of course, if one of the young guys need help, need to be, set straight, I can step in. But, I main so lead by my play, actions, being on time, going out there on the practice field, giving my all, dominating my blocks. I'm not really a guy who's really going to jump in somebody's face. But if somebody needs to be talked to, I'll sit them to the side and talk to them.
What would you say is the biggest lesson that you learned from Coach?
Just being smart, man. Just knowing a lot about the game. Just knowing formations before the play even happened. Just watching film. Just all of that. Just seeing what to study on film. It's just. The guy's just so detailed. The guy's just so smart. The guy, honestly, he's ahead of his time. The guy's. He's having fun right now in life. I don't know if you guys see it on social media, but he's just a genius, man. And I appreciate him for that. A good 4 years definitely playing with him.
All right, so that's Devon Godchaux. And this is the thing that's really interesting about him. I got his stats on screen for the family members. It's a mixed bag on the reaction of the trade to get him. And this is his production over the last several years that he's been in the NFL. Now, remember, he came from LSU. He was there. He was a hell spawn there, doing some real positive things. He got picked up in the 5th round by the Miami Dolphins. He spent his rookie deal there, and he had some positive production. His sacks ain't the thing with him. It's he causes issues and problems. He can be disruptive, and it's very interesting that Coach Staley would, trade for him and say, let's bring this guy in here. And we'll see how it all ferrets out. We have no idea how this is going to work, but look at his trail. His resume so far over the last 4 years. Obviously, I had a guy, one of the family members commented in the comment section that was a Miami Dolphin supporter and says, Q, this guy ain't it. But that was with the Dolphins. His time with the Dolphins. And it wasn't. Look at the numbers where he was there. In 15 games in his rookie season, 40 total tackles that he had with from that tackle position. Then he went from 40 to 48. In 2019, in his 3rd year, he had 75 total tackles that went along with 2 sacks. I would say that's pretty productive for an interior defensive lineman, fam. When the last time we had an interior defensive lineman that had 70-something tackles? That's a question for the Great Saint Think Tank. Y'all answer that one. When was the last time the Saints had an interior defensive lineman that got 75 tackles? Very interesting. And then, of course, 2020, he got hurt and he played 5 games, had only 16 tackles. Then he signed with New England for 4 years. He picked it right up when he was healthy. 17 games, 65 total tackles and a sack, 1 forced fumble. The following year, 62 total tackles, a sack and a half. Then he went 56 total tackles. Then in the final year, he had 67 tackles, which is the second highest total for him. So you look at it, I mean, he's a guy that's incredibly active. And if you watch the film, you know, it's not as dominant as you want it to be. Like some plays that you see him doing this thing, but at the same time, you know, it depends on how you utilize him. And like I said, he's 30 years old right now, and you can't discount, you know, and I know, and shout out to Linda, she did the PFF thing. Linda be dropping some science in the chat. But this is the thing. You can't dispute the fact that the man has averaged 56 plus tackles a year and played 17 games for 4 years consecutively. So one thing I can say about him is that he's consistent and he's available. So can he then bring that same consistency in this production here? Because if you had a tackle, family, that averaged, what this man averaging, 60-something tackles, combined tackles a season, that's pretty respectable. Let me do something here. Let me kind of look at something right quick. Do a little cross-referencing stat checking. Let me see if I can find, you know, what our guys did, what our tackles did over the last. Yeah, I'm interested to want to know. Y'all help me out here. Help me figure this out. Did we have the closest tackle? Hell, we didn't have defensive linemen that ever. The Carl Granderson has 61 total tackles and 5.5 sacks. You know, most of our defensive linemen don't average that high. You know, especially over the last couple of years. What was the last guy that had 60-something? This man had averaged over 60-something tackles the last 4 years in 17 games from the interior position. You know, so I mean, that's very interesting. And like I said, I looked at tape of Adam. I remember from LSU, and I look at tape for him now. The production is definitely there. But they mentioned, the reporters smartly mentioned Bo Davis, the fantastic defensive line coach that came from LSU. There's a lineage there. You have a former defensive line coach from LSU. You got the defensive lineman from LSU. And hopefully this would mean the Saints will open up the door and bring in more LSU talent, unlike we've seen the last several years. And we know Tyrann Mathieu here, that's after the fact, right? Will Clapp is here, that's LSU guy. We now have him, so the LSU guys are mounting, so that's a positive from that side of things, because you would think, being that LSU so close to where the Saints are located, that would be a school that the Saints will constantly be in communication with, have scouts that can drive there and constantly checking out their talent, right? But like I said, when you look over the years, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know what defensive lineman can match this guy's numbers that the Saints have produced over the last 4 years. What interior defensive lineman is averaging 60-something tackles a year combined? Y'all let me know. That's a test for you. All right, Bush says, Darren says 75 tackles for DT is phenomenal indeed. Like, look at Brian Bresee. Brian Bresee had 7.5 sacks last year. He had 2 full sacks more than Chase Young and Carl Granderson. But he had like 20-something tackles. You see what I'm saying? So even though it's not a sign, it's a trade. Like, it's a trade that they brought in here. And it was really the first move the Saints made in terms of like improving the team. Like, it was a trade. Like, let's go get this guy. We could be, to a degree, discounting his contribution, because this could be a very big acquisition for the Saints defense. The fact that his numbers are fantastic, the fact that I've seen the tape on him, he's productive, but it's not like a dominating way. Like, you can see him flash on film at points, but it's kind of weird. You don't see it all day, but you see him fighting in there. But he's a fighter, and he does take up a double team. But to beat the double team, he consistently get double teamed to get average 60-something tackles a year and is available 17 games for the last 4 years. And really 1 year, he got hurt, which was in 2020, and he played 5 games. But prior to that, his production went up and up and up and up. Then when he rehabbed and came back, his production still went up. So, I mean, that's a question to you guys. You tell me. We could be discounting this guy. This could be actually a pretty decent move here. Darwin, you're right. That is phenomenal. Ben says they need to give DT nose guards a stat for creating sacks. How I judge a player like him is how well the pass rusher stats are, aka Sue, the effect on down. That's a good point, bro. Thank you for that. Appreciate that insight. What's going on, True Hurt? Shout out to you, fam. Saints for Life said Wayne Martin was the last guy that averaged these kind of numbers. How about that? Not saying the man is Wayne Martin, because Wayne Martin not only gave you tackles, he gave you sacks. That's the thing why we're not looking at him, because he don't give you sacks. He creates opportunities for other guys. And Ben, you're right. If he's drawing this amount of production from the tackle position, somebody's eating. Somebody's eating. But hey, man, y'all let me know, could we be undervaluing? Because I seen a man play at LSU. He was a problem, but he didn't go high in the draft, right? He was one of those guys that worked on a very packed defensive line that LSU had, and he was amongst those guys. And I think that's why he kind of slipped in the draft somewhat. But outside of that, man, you cannot deny his resume. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Saints like said Wayne Martin was the most underrated defensive lineman ever to play for this. Absolutely. Wayne Martin was a force. Let me see if I can pull up Wayne Martin's numbers, man. Wayne Martin was awesome. One of my all-time favorite players was Wayne Martin, the great Wayne Martin. Let me see if I can pull up something for Wayne Martin here. There he is right there, number 93, Wayne Martin. Yep. 19th pick, round number 1, 1989. He played for 10 years, only for the Saints. Hall of Fame in 2003, 11-year career with the black and gold. How many sacks did he have over his time? Let me see. First in school, I'm trying to see where he is in terms of his sacks since he did. But yeah, this Wayne Martin was awesome, man. He ranks 3rd in career. He had 82.5 sacks. And the thing about Wayne Martin is he played defensive end, then they shifted him to like tackle, and he still dominated. No matter where Wayne Martin was, he dominated. This is what kind of player the Saints have in the Dome Patrol, or, you know, when they had guys like that operating in the 3-4 system that you have to have. And you watch the stats because of interior defensive linemen piling up tackles like this guy. We can't overlook that at all, man. This could be something. You know, just putting y'all on game like that. Yeah. Linda, you're right. Keep Devon and release Brissy. Yeah, if you put Brian Brissy at the end position, which I think the Saints going to do, and move this man interiorly, which I think they're going to do, and obviously I think they still want Cam at the other end position, this could be problematic because a lot of people feel Brian Brissy is better sat at the end because of his pass rushing ferocity. He has to get better at playing a run. But outside of that, I think the guy, this scheme change could be big for the Saints. It depends on how these guys take to it, Carl and Chase and the rest of the Saints defense. But I like the acquisitions that we have with Justin Reed at the safety position next to Tyrann Mathieu. Those are 2 guys that, they're smart players, have some familiarity. So there's a chemistry already there, intelligence in the background there. Yidam coming in to help out with the cornerbacks, Alante and Kool-Aid McKinstry. Then there is the linebacker stuff we talked about. Then there's the line stuff we're talking about. So just saying, fam, this could be interesting. Yeah, LM said Jim Wilkes. Yeah, Jim Wilkes, man. Wayne Martin, Jim Wilkes, Jumpy Gathers. Those guys were awesome. Wayne Martin to me, prior to, with Cam and all them dudes, was to me the best defensive lineman the Saints ever had was Wayne Martin, in my opinion, prior to Cam doing what he did. Wayne Martin was good every year. Then you throw Joe Johnson in there. We talk about defensive ends, man. We were blessed to have some of the greatest defensive linemen ever play for us, man. Wayne Martin, Joe Johnson. We had some really good guys, man. Like we talk about guys that didn't have the stats, but they were in there kicking ass, like Jumpy, Jim Wilkes, Frank Warren. Remember the great Frank Warren? He was another Frank Warren. Warren was another dude that would just these guys were mean. They were dominant, and we had some guys, man. We really did have some phenomenal talent there. And Cam Jordan's is the best of those guys, you know, stats wise, anyway. All right, so anyway, man, I just wanted to, Ronaldo Turnbull. I don't know where I would put Ronaldo Turnbull because they did try him at the end position, but you know because he was more like a linebacker there, the big linebacker guy, but he had duality. Like they tried him try to do him a little edge work, but Ronaldo Turnbull had some skill too. I don't know if he's up there on that level. I mean, he's one of the favorite Saints, but I don't think he's up there on that level. Like we talking about the greatest defensive player ever in Saints history was the great Ricky Martin. You're talking about Sam. You're talking about Pat Swilling. You know, Juwan Johnson. You're talking about guys like that. Then you talk about later on. You talk about guys like Jonathan Vilma and then Demario Davis. Those guys in the lineage of great Saints linebackers. And there's a ton more. But yeah, Ronaldo Turnbull was good in his day too. I remember Turnbull. All right, so anyway, fam, we're going to get on that. I just wanted to drop some game about that because I think that's something that we needed to kind of go on the resume and check out these guys. Because 1 year is one thing, right? You can kind of 1 year Q, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever. But when the guy has 8 years of production and then 1 year he was hurt, he was off, the rest of the years was constant production from the interior position. Man, you know, I cannot. Y'all see the numbers for yourself, don't y'all? And he did it at a high level the last 4 years. Can we get this here? If we can get this here and he plays here, this could change it. This could change a lot. This could change a lot for the Saints because we haven't done this. Hasn't happened with Shepard. Hold on, let me pull up. And I ain't trying to put these guys out there, but just to preference this stuff with what we've been having over the last 4 years. Because I think we underselling this guy here. I think we could be out underselling his value to what potentially can be. Let me see if I can look here. Okay, here's Nate Shepard. Nate Shepard, for the last couple of years, would say he had 50 tackles. Okay, he had 50 tackles in 2023 and 3 sacks. That's pretty respectable for Nate Shepard. Then last year, he missed 1 game. He had his numbers dropped significantly from 50 to 37, but he still had a sack and a half, right? That's Nate Shepard's numbers. And the 2023 numbers is actually respectable. Let's see if I can pull up Colin Saunders' numbers here. Hold on. Let me see what Colin Saunders' number. Just doing it looking at it from a standpoint of what they bring in. I know Bink missed a lot of time last year, so his number's probably not going to be all that good. But, you know, yeah, in 2023, the same year with Shep had 50-something, and Bink had 57, no sacks. Last year he played 13 games, had 43. So with that, and you preference that and those are starting 2 interior defensive tackles from last year, and he still beat both those guys in terms of production. So he outproduced them for what they did. You know, so yeah, that's interesting, man. So could we consider him an upgrade there? What do y'all guys think? Put that in the chat. Let me know, man. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that. Y'all let me know. Yeah, they're vibing. You might have a point on that. Bink is athletic, can see him on the end. Well, Brian Bresee gets one in. Y'all would agree with me, right? You think Brian Bresee gets one in. Then there's Cam on the other side. And people saying, well, Bink could play the other. He's disruptive enough. I don't know if they'll do that. But then again, the Saints have a ton of resources because they ain't really release anybody or trade anybody. Everybody is here, right? So y'all let me know what you think about that. Is Is brother Devon, is he a upgrade over what we had? Y'all put it in the chat. Let me know. 504 Coke says, Q, you think we can use Bink on the edge every now and then? I would say yes. I heard what Bobbin says. Bobbin, I have to agree with him. You know, Linda says, I rely on PFF scores too much, but they help rank abilities rather than just opinions. Yeah. But a lot of the rankings that they do at PFF is opinions. That's why not everybody uses them. They're not the status. They're not the league standard in terms of that. Like, there's several other people that use a ranking system and they differ. You know, so it's like it's kind of similar to what people perceive the Madden rankings as. You know, it's different. It's all speculative. You know what I mean? It just depends on who you prefer to get it from. So yeah, 504, I can agree with that. Leroy Glover, there you go, Darwin. Leroy Glover. Yeah, what's up, Dr. Gray? Says Norman Hand. Yep. Remember what was them guys, Norman Hand and the Robert Pig Golf. Was it Pig Golf? Was it Robert Pig Golf? The Heavy Lunch Bunch. Y'all remember them guys, them big guys? Yeah, the Big Wiggle. Who's the Big Wiggle? Who wasn't that? Who was the Big Wiggler? That wasn't Norman Hand, man. Y'all help me out, man. I'm having a brain fart up here. Hunts Jay, what's up? Jay says Onyemata was the best interior line we've had in a while. I know, bro. We have not come close to reproducing them. Yeah, Professor. What's up, Professor? You got it. Joe Johnson, Jumping Gathers. Uncle Deuce, what's up, my brother? Said I think Bink can be good there. Okay, thank you, bro. Appreciate you there. Yeah, he has it. Yeah, he says, the nose position, no doubt. Tasha says, Q, where you been? Or where you been? Or have you just been missing the lives? No, I'm here. I'm here, Tasha, baby. I'm here. I'm talking to y'all. I'm here. I'm up in here. Oh, you talking about the Pelican side of it? What you mean, Tasha? Let me know. You know, Tasha be checking. She's like, where you been? I'm like, God damn it, I've been here. I'm here. I'm talking to y'all right now. Grady Jackson. Yeah, I remember him. Dr. Key, what's up, brother? Said Willie Whitehead. I remember Willie Whitehead. Willie Whitehead was good, man. He passed away not too long ago, man. Rest in peace to that brother. All right, yeah. We're going to see, man. Yeah, Grady Jackson, the heavy lunch bunch. I remember them guys. Charles Grant, he had a lot of potential, then he fell off, man. He had a lot of, golf, Pig Golf. Yep. Who was the guy with the big wiggle? Wasn't that Sheldon Rankins? Rankins? He tack in and do the big wiggle. Wasn't that Sheldon Rankins? Darian Howard, that's right, Professor. See, it's a lot of them, man. It's a lot of guys. That's why I was like, yeah, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of defensive ends. We have some serious guys down here, man. Darian Howard from Kansas State, he was a good one. Yep, he was another good one. Charles Grant was good until he got paid. Hell, Junior Gillette was good until you paid him. He went crazy and started beating women on the beaches with belts. He gave him some money. He just lost his ever-loving mind. Y'all remember that? What's up, Jaden? Shout out to you. Says, what up, Q? How you doing tonight? And yeah, I see you, brother. Appreciate you for being here. I'm doing good. The Pelicans are getting beat up right now versus the Pistons. Yeah, man, it's on my other screen. I got up here looking at them, man, and the Pelicans have lost 50 games, man, and guy just tried to yam on Karlo Mekovic, and he missed the dunk. But I mean, Pelicans sorry, man. What can I tell you, man? Yeah, they're getting beat by the Pistons. Good God, 92-65. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I seen Trey got hurt, injured. Yeah, in the first minute of the game, we can't catch a break. I know, brother. It's just terrible. Yep, yeah. Lewis said, yep, yeah. It was Sheldon Rankins. He sack you and do the wiggle. Yeah, that was the big man wiggle. That was pretty good. All right. Yeah, Darren was good. Darren Howard was really good, man. It just, we didn't have the best of teams when he was here, but we had some good talents. It's just at that time. All right, but yeah, man, that's the point, man, about him. Are we kind of undervaluing the nose tackle we picked up? Are we undervaluing based on if you watch some of his film and you look at his production? Is this could be a sneaky good move, fam? This could be a sneaky move. Cause you look at the statistics. I was just curious to see what our other guys were doing, and his production, is better than what we've seen from the last few defensive tackles we have. So it could be something. It could be something here. All right. So anyway, man, listen. Brian says I think we letting go in. He says I don't think we letting go any more good talent we draft from here on out. I don't know, bro. I think we still got a couple of moves that we're going to make. What's up, Tucci? Shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you. Good to see y'all. What's up, Lewis? Yeah. Oh, Hollis Thomas. Yes. Been on beast, boy. You are a great Saint think tank historian. What's up, Duke? Shout out to you, brother. This man brung Hollis Thomas out. Hollis Thomas came over from Philadelphia. The Saints picked him up. Hollis Thomas was a beast. Hollis Thomas, he don't get any credit either. But Hollis Thomas came here, man. Hollis Thomas was, Professor, you remember Hollis Thomas? He was off the chain. Jay says, Q, I'm gonna need a call in before the draft. New job limits be catching you. Like, okay, brother, we're gonna do some stuff, bro. The draft coming up soon. Jack says, he a day one starter because the rest of the DTs are sad, but see, they're sad, bro. I don't know if to say they're sad. I mean, we could definitely use an upgrade. Ain't no doubt about that on some of them. I mean, I like Brian Bresee. I think Christian Boyd has potential. I don't know too much about Jonah Williams. I did watch some stuff on him. I see that he got a high motor there. Cam, I think, is past his prime. But then again, like you said, if the shift is the 3-4 shift is what it is, and like we showed on screen about what the Saints defense could potentially be. Yeah, Bink Saunders could definitely have a component to play inside. On the end, he definitely can do that, man. If you because he does have the speed and athleticism to be a defensive end. And I imagine, how would a Brian Bresee, Devon Godchaux, and Bink Saunders front three look like to you? Because he's 330. Bink is 330. And Bresee's like, what, 290? That will push Cam to the bench. And I don't know if they won't go, they ain't gonna play Cam like that. I don't think they play Cam like that. But Bresee, they got him listed at 300 pounds. I don't know if that's true or not, but this is his numbers here. At 6'5", 300 pounds. So if you imagine that, if you have Brian Bresee, Bink, who's 6 feet, 330 pounds, Devon, who's is 330 pounds. That's your defensive lineman. Like I said, I'm starting to talk myself into this thing. I'm talking myself into this shit, man. I'm saying we're gonna be all right with this defense, man, if it work out. But then again, health is another thing, fam. Health is a whole nother thing. So we're gonna see, man. It's very interesting, man. Yeah, Kane says Saunders can go. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens. Yeah, he's a 300-pound human. He's small. He's 6 feet tall. He's 6 feet tall and 6 feet wide. So he's like 330 something pounds, but he don't move like a 330-pound person. The dude moves like he a heavy linebacker. You know what I'm saying? He's very light on his feet. So we'll see what it looks like there, man. If that's a component they're looking at, they got to be looking at that. Especially with Cam being as old as he is, then perhaps they have Cam in more of a reserve capacity. I mean, you got to be thinking like, man, we get three 300-pound defensive linemen on the three down lineman look, and the linebackers roaming around. I mean, to me, that makes a lot of sense, because if you got to block Godchaux, you have Bink Saunders, somebody's going to, at least two of those guys are going to command the double team. At least two of them, right? You got to be thinking about it like that. But then again, we'll see, man. I'm getting fired up looking at it. Yeah, they got Foskey listed as a linebacker on this depth chart. Look at him. He's behind. Where is it? They got him listed behind Chase Young. Y'all see his Chase Young right here. You know, the strong side, and they got Isaiah Foskey listed behind him, which is crazy enough that Foskey is 6'5", 270. He's athletic enough to be a linebacker. It's crazy. So we'll see what kind of usage they get out of these guys because it's all very interesting to see if we can do that. You know, we'll see, man. But listen, fam, I'm going to have to get on up out of here, man. I got to get ready for the Pelican post-game report and talk about how these Pelicans, oh, my goodness, these wretched garbage time Pelicans, man, how they just getting plastered by the Pistons, which is crazy to me because the Pistons were as bad as the Pelicans. The Pistons and Pelicans done flip position. They didn't. Pistons was garbage last year, just like the Pelicans are. We just flip-flop positions. Pelicans about to get the 51st loss of the season. You won't talk about a trash team, but then again, they tanking out to see if they can get top picks. It's crazy, man. Yeah, Jay says I watched this tape. Yeah, from Notre Dame, the tape on Foskey is good, bro. They compared him to Cam Jordan, a young Cam Jordan. It hadn't materialized because you got to get these guys on the field. The reps that develop you are not just practice reps. They need actual live game reps in the game to develop the proper way. And the Saints have not done that correctly. But anyway, we're going to yeah. Okay, you going to enjoy watching, Tasha? Is that what you're doing? You mad at me because I put the thumbs down on the Cowboys? Is that what it is now? Okay, well, guess what? Where y'all at? Let me hold on here. Let me be a little petty right quick. Tasha done got me in my petty bag right now. Y'all know I can get petty on it. Hold on. Let me see what Tasha rankings at. And I shouldn't even be doing this because, number one, I can't even talk. My team's so terrible. I can't even talk about it. Where y'all at, Tasha? Y'all gonna get in the playoffs? No, y'all sitting there right by us. What you talking about, girl? Look at that. Look at the Pelicans, man. 18-50. They're the second worst team in the NBA. And the Spurs are 28. At least they're in the play-in. No, they're not even the play-in. Tasha, I don't think y'all gonna get to the play-in, baby. Y'all are 10 wins better than us, but y'all not doing anything. Y'all trying to win? What y'all doing up here? 4-6 the last 10. Yeah, Tasha, y'all ain't going nowhere, baby. Y'all did better than us, but y'all gonna be sitting there watching the draft with us. You pick your seat on the side of the couch that you and my dog Sean. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be sitting there watching the damn lottery with us. That's what's going on now. You can say that that's like saying, okay, we got 10 more wins better than yeah, but you ain't in the plan. You're sitting there. It's just another level of bad. You know, you saying, well, we're not worse than you, but still no, y'all bad too. Oh my goodness, man. Them Pelicans are awful, y'all. I'm sorry. Them shows be tough to do, fam. I mean, they're playing R&B music and shit. The game, it be terrible. What they talk about? They getting beat by 30 points right now. What kind of show we gonna have here? It's just, hey, oh my God. Anyway, yeah, okay, all right, okay, I got you. All right, you gonna have your popcorn ready? Okay, all right, I got you. I know it is insane. 18-50 is insane, but that's what you got here. Same people running the Saints, running the Pelicans into the ground. Well, with that being said, man, let me get on up out of here. I got to lift my spirits to get ready for the Pelican post-game report. But listen, I appreciate y'all for being on the stream. Y'all do me a service, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on the social media feed, as well as to give our sponsors some love. In the description section, Mint Mobile, Teach Henley, and Bet Online. They help out the platform. Also, shout out to our YouTube membership family and our Patreon champions as well. We'll be having another episode of we'll have some videos coming up on soon with some deep stuff. But outside of that, we have the latest on the Saints, another mock draft coming up, and another positional breakdown rolling around. We'll have that on the TSC Patreon stream for Tuesday. And we're going to keep this thing moving, baby, like we always do. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to get out on that. We'll return on Wednesday, man. For everybody else and for Patreon and YouTube membership for our family on Tuesday. Appreciate y'all. Much love. And I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Peace. Who that take?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to NHL and UFC. BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source for every three-pointer to hat trick. BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and Who That Too.